hey, be great at tech. I didn't grow up with tech. And so it's hard to pivot. Westbrook, the game now is not designed for him. It's designed for Clay, Steph, Kyrie, Lillard. Shoot. No mid-range. I don't care. And I look at Westbrook, and he's not a broken player. He's a hyper-athletic guard who is a relentless athlete. You're going to tell me the next 5 years he's going to click and become a great shooter? It's not who he is. Derrick Rose. That's not who Derrick Rose is. There's part of me that feels bad for Westbrook. The game has moved in a different direction, and it's not built perfectly for him anymore.
You are being lenient here. I saw you tweeting last night and saying, what would you say?
I said, wait. Is he hit a triple-double yet?
I was for sure you're going to be relentless this morning and vicious.
Couldn't I argue, though, what do you do with Westbrook now?
Okay. Well, let me say this. I get your point, but I will say this. There are still, I will still say, the majority of the leagues, the majority of the point guards can't shoot like a Stephen Curry, like a Damian Lillard. So there's still a spot for players such as Westbrook, who has freakish athleticism, quick speed, burst of everything. So I would just say this. It's still up to Westbrook as key points in the game to make the right play. And if you're not such a shooter, then don't shoot a lot of threes. Go in and attack. Be relentless on the glass. And I think the problem with him is that, look, that three-point ball is killing OKC right now.
They were never good at it. They've been awful.
They're awful. And the fact that Portland is making so many, threes hurt. Threes hurt. And when you can't match that, you can't combat that, there's a real problem. And then that deficit gets higher and higher. And so I think for Westbrook, look, I get what you're saying. He's never going to be those type of guys. We're talking about Steph and Dame. But what he can do it to the best of his ability and stay away from shooting 8, 7 3-pointers a game. And so if you want to be efficient in your own right, play your own game. That's all he has to do.
Here's a criticism I would levy on Westbrook. I don't like the defensive effort. First of all, Lillard's getting uncontested jumpers. Curry is left wide open. Some of this, is it possible, and I'm not just blaming Westbrook, that when your offense goes in the NBA, your defense can suffer because it gets into your head. I mean, let's be honest. Defense matters, but it's probably a 75-25 split. Offense is more important than defense. I don't like Russell's defense. I don't like OKC's defense. You're letting a good three-point shooting team. Portland last night must have had 7 wide-open threes.
Paying attention to detail has always been an issue of Russ, particularly when you're talking about the defensive end. Because you look at, look at his frame and everything. There's no reason why he shouldn't be an all-NBA defender out there from year to year. But he's not. And I don't know necessarily if it's his offense struggling on that end is why he's struggling on the defensive end as well. But you seeing it. Steph Curry can't get off. He can't get wide open shots. No. You can't allow guys like Farouk Aminu to hit 3-pointers on you. Those are demoralizing shots. And so that's what I'm saying. I get your point. You're being lenient, Kyle. You're evolving as a person. Because you just mentioned that you're talking about 45-year-olds can't adapt to time. You're adapting and changing and evolving because I thought I was going to defend Russ. I thought I was going to defend him. I thought you were coming with the heat today, but now I find myself, I got to pile on because of the lack of you not doing so.
Yeah, I had the anvil in the car. I left it there. I thought, it's easy today. He was minus 27, Lillard's plus 27. I could have brought out the anvil. I won the argument. This whole thing about the internet, they say Facebook won the internet. Stop arguing. I won the argument. Russ is hard to play with. He's not built for the playoffs. But in the end, I've just seen this so many times. I saw it with Derrick Rose a lot. I'm like, the game's moving away from Derrick Rose's strength. It's Ezekiel Elliott, the game moved right into his wheelhouse. He can Le'Veon Bell, the game moved right into Le'Veon. Le'Veon's not the fastest back. But God, he's got great hands. And so all of a sudden, Le'Veon Bell goes from, he's a good runner. He doesn't have breakaway speed to, oh, my God, you get 85 catches, 200 carries. And let's move to this, though. If Oklahoma City loses the series, and I don't think Portland's ever lost a series when they lead 2-0.
Okay.
Billy Donovan gets run, right? And I'm saying this. Okay, at some point, Sam Presti had Harden, chose Westbrook. Had Durant, didn't hug him. Victor Oladipo, let him go. At some point, Billy Donovan's taking the hits here. There's one shooter on this roster. That's not Billy Donovan's fault. Is he going to get whacked?
Look, they gave him extension before this season. You know, I was surprised that they did that.
So was I.
Because I'm like, what did he do? What has the team done to warrant that? But at the same time, when you're talking about the holes that's in this roster, you need shooting. In this game today, if you don't have premium shooting, then you don't have a chance. Because threes add up. And when they keep adding up, that margin is a 10-point margin, 15-point margin, 20-point margin. It happens faster than it has ever happened in the game
Oklahoma
before.
City is not built to go on a 14-0 run. Portland is.
Yes.
You know, Golden State is. Boston can be. Houston can be. Utah's good, but they're not. The teams that don't shoot threes, it's hard to go on a 14-0 run. That used to be 7 possessions.
And that's why, getting to your point, I think you were alluding to it, that's a management.
That's not Billy Donovan's issue.
That's not Billy Donovan. That's the kind of the way they constructed their team is the similar route in the way the Lakers went about doing business.
Tough guys, defensive guys, not enough shooters.